Yeah, we
posted
have our
something.
own app, huh? How many does
How many coaching groups have their own app,
yeah,
right?
I know WinRate doesn't have their own app. Arate doesn't even have their own app.
True.
Contractor Fight, they don't have their own app. Hey,
No.
sorry, I'm shooting bullets here. Boom, boom, boom. You can't dodge them because we have our own app.
Welcome to the Top Contractor Podcast, the show that highlights the remarkable individuals who are shaping the construction industry, pushing its boundaries with engaging interviews, expert discussions, and real-world stories of success. I'm your host, Bill Ryman, your broker builder, and I'm here with my co-host,
Nate Swinkleton, your broke builder.
I got
You're
a little,
broker builder and you're broke builder. Just kidding. I'm not a builder. I'm a
I got a
steel guy.
couldn't really see, got a little dizzy after all that head banging after this
Yeah, right?
delicious first
How does it?
form screaming freedom.
Ooh.
Got me,
Woo.
got me. Oh man, yeah, it's hard to see right there for a second. Too much
You're
head banging.
getting old, man. You're getting old.
Can't do it like I used to, Nate.
You got to read the back of the can. It says, "Do
Don't
not
head.
headbang while consuming."
Do not head bang, especially to Metallica, while consuming this energy drink.
Yeah, that's you know what? That is screaming freedom right there. Headbanging to Metallica. I don't think you could get any more screaming freedom than that.
No, that's a good representation. They should sponsor us. So, First Form,
All
sponsor this
right.
show,
Come
please.
on, man.
You get a lot of views out of that one. But Nate,
All
what's the
right,
topic?
so the TCS podcast, we got 3 styles episodes. One is a deep dive into a specific topic. 2 is an expert interview. We still can't tell you who that guy is. He's a big shot. He's coming on. We'll tell you when we know. And 3 is construction news. But today we have a topic: secrets to highly productive project management. Okay. And a lot of the newer people on TCS or anybody who's not fully established yet in their business, meaning, that you have layers, sales, operations, systems where you can go away for a week or two and it's just kind of flowing for the most part, right? If you don't have that set up, then you have to listen to this, tune in, turn up the volume, put earmuffs on the kids in case I drop a foul word, and let's get it on, folks.
Love
So
that. Hype
I
that one
kind
up.
of, I kind of, I kind of break down project management into 4 areas, right? Job information organization, client and vendor communication, scheduling, and managing resources. Okay. And I think if you hit on all 4 of those, then you're going to be highly productive in your project management. And yes, sales is what brings in the initial money. But if sales brings in a job that's, you know, it's a slam dunk. It's like, hey, we're always profitable on these. And then operations takes a dump on it, you're not going to make any money. So, sales, they're bringing it in, but really project managing is bringing it home and making sure that that money is there and that the project is ran on budget and everything else. So it's insanely important that these 4 categories are well balanced and well taken care of. So the first thing we'll dive into: job information organization. Bill, how are you guys doing? I know you guys been implementing some new stuff with that, that also actually interfaces with like client and vendor communication. Um, if you want
Yeah,
to
man,
fill us
it's
in.
utilizing the software that we have. Well, I mean, job information organization. We got so many different things, and we've gotten our systems processes really down pat over the years of how we want to do it. Obviously, we're implementing little things here and there to try and make things easier within the office and for our employees too. But um, everything goes through, everything we do goes through the client, is approved by the client, is signed off by the client, and it's in writing, and we always have proof too. So every piece of information that we do throughout a whole entire build, which a lot of our builds take close to 2 years to do because these are big houses, luxury homes, and it takes a lot longer to build in Florida. But well, in Southwest Florida, I should say. But so you have to, being in a relationship with a client for as long as we are, things can be forgotten because, over time and so on too. And you have to refer back to certain things. And so we have to stay organized. We have to keep everybody up to date. We got to keep a log on everybody too. So we have, Google Drive folders. We have actual physical folders. We actually have stuff within our platform that we use online, for our construction software. So everything is organized to the T, so nothing is missed, nothing is forgotten out. And if a client has a question on it, we can refer back to it. Or if there's an argument, we could always refer back to too. So if you're a contractor, organization, job information, all that stuff needs to be organized. It's critical because if anything is missed, it's going to cost you money. And we've had a lot of circumstances where clients I shouldn't say tried, but clients didn't really realize because time went on that they said a certain thing or made a certain selection, and they would come back at us and be like, well, why is this like this? That's not right. I want that fixed. And we'll go, well, let me refer back to this email at this time, or here it is in this, we logged it at this time too. So everything is logged. Our construction software, we job log, we update scheduling. We do so many different things to keep organized. It's hard to spell it all out on one podcast because our systems are so intact, but we're always improving too. So just to kind of answer your question, Nate, what are you doing?
Yeah, for sure, man. No, and I think, you know, a lot of people, they get to the point where they're getting all this information, but it's not organized. So
Yeah.
I need to really make that point clear. If you're collecting all this job information, but it's not organized, it's useless. You can use it as toilet paper. It's useless. Well, toilet paper is actually more useful than all your paperwork unorganized, right? At least you can wipe your ass with it. All right. you know, so making sure, right, that your software is compatible for the office and the field, that it's something that's easy, user friendly to just pull something up on your iPhone, iPad, or computer. All those different things are what you want in a job tracking or a job CRM or anything like that, project management tool. You know, essentially, you want to be able to store all project relevant info in one place that everyone can communicate through, that stores and tracks the communication. All right. So that's number one, job information organization. The next big thing is client and vendor communication, right? Um, in the steel world, the biggest thing that happens for us on things where it's a miss in communication is, so in structural steel, the first phase that we're on is with concrete. We give the concrete guy all of our embed plates and template plates that our steel either welds or bolts to. And, if you're not a good subcontractor, you'll wait around until, oh, they'll let me know when they need me. If you're using that phrase, you're a crappy subcontractor. Okay. You should be checking in bi-weekly for project updates. I know it sounds crazy. Check in bi-weekly for project updates, right? And if they in that update they say, "Oh, check back in a month," then sure, check back in a month. Use common sense, but by checking in bi-weekly, you'll get ahead of 90% of those. Hey, I need those things tomorrow, right? Because I'll let you know when I'm ready. Yeah, you'll let me know the day before. Yeah, my ass. Now I'm going to call you every week or every other week because I want to get ahead of it, right? So you need to take initiative with your client communication as a subcontractor to make sure you're coordinating. Don't rely on the GC to give you a schedule. Oftentimes we take initiative, we'll build out our own schedule with the subs and then send it to the GC and say, hey, is this pretty on pace to what you're thinking? Yep, great. We're taking initiative. I don't want to wait for their schedule.
Love
because
that.
without a good schedule, you can't drive revenue. Now I'm skipping ahead to scheduling, but you know, another thing with like vendor communication, as soon as we get awarded a project, we're looking at any long lead items. We're selecting what vendors we're going to use on the project, communicating with them. Hey, we got X amount of volume. Is that in stock? What's the inventory like? Do we need to move on it quickly? Do we have time? Oh, that's a long lead. Oh, there's issues, right? In construction, you're getting materials from all over the country, potentially all over the world. So let's say when there were those, what are those things called? I'm from California. We don't have them here. Hurricanes,
Hmm.
that the big hurricane in Louisiana. When that happened a couple years ago, that wiped out the production of a couple steel mills. So what did that do? That backlogged material all the way over here in California. Okay, so it's paying attention to all that stuff and communicating with your vendor to make sure that your project goes smoothly. Again, ahead of time, right? You're not just, oh, I need this tomorrow. Oh, well, sorry, that steel mill's underwater and they're not even operating, so you're not going to get it for 4 months. Now you're scrambling. Now you're going to pay more for something, you know? So, what do you have on that, Bill? Kind of client and vendor communication?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we have it kind of down pat. We're at certain points of the project, so there's these touch points during the project is when we go and have certain things delivered or certain things signed off on or certain things like meetings with the vendors that we have too. So we always have selections meetings at a certain point. Usually those start around when slab gets poured is when we start the first round of selections. That's when they go to cabinets, tile, plumbing fixtures, and they we break them up into 3-day stretches, and then there's another round of selections again when they come back. But we give them opportunity too if they want to make a change after we get the actual selections in, show them the pricing. If they want to go back and change something, we give them the opportunities to go back and change as long as it schedule permitting, it fits the schedule of our selections coordinator. So very detailed process that we do, but we have a lot of meetings too on the communication end of things. A lot of meetings with the clients, a lot of walkthrough meetings too. Um, I'm going to show a video, or I'm going to post a video probably next week of kind of an electrical walkthrough, what we do throughout that process too.
Oh, nice.
Rough walkthroughs, stuff like that. And we do just a lot of meetups. So when they're in town, usually we like to meet right when they get in town too, which they'll let us know, hey, we're coming in town, would love to meet at the job site. We do this because it's proactive. It gets us ahead of things too. So we could explain why things are the way they are in certain, areas, or we could explain what the future holds too. And then we could also explain when the project's going to be done. Is a lot of things. So when they see reality, it helps the explanations quite a bit. But also meeting with the team too, communication with your team. I have weekly meetings with everybody on our team. I have a weekly meeting with my warranty representative. I have a weekly meeting with my selections coordinator. I have weekly meetings with the field crew, the field guys, and then weekly meetings with my sister who does our finances. So I'm meeting, these are all scheduled meetings. They're permanent in my schedule. I schedule around these meetings because these are important. Also, we have a weekly team meeting too where everybody's together as well. So there's a lot of this going on interior wise with my team, just so we can figure out certain things, get ahead of things, and just keep the wheel turning, man. So nothing gets stopped. Everything keeps going in a nice productive way too. So I can't stress enough, man. Like you said, on communication, it's huge in all aspects of the job. And to say we've specialized at it, not yet. I know there's things that we can do to still get better, but we're trying to figure out every single week is something I'm doing to try and figure out how we can communicate better too. And it's
I
been
th-
a big thing for me.
I think, yeah, that's funny how you just said that, because I think if you change your mindset and you think that you do have it dialed and you don't think that you can improve it at all, that's when your whole thing goes to shit.
Yeah. Spot on.
that's when you see the guy who's been in business for 50 years, 60 years, and then he goes out of business, is because he thought he had it figured out, right? So it's like it's a constant
Well,
grind. It's a constant evolution because it's constantly changing too.
well, I mean, that's business. That's business in general, man. It's like, I think so. Brian and the One Team group app for Top Contractor School, whoever joins Top Contractor School, you guys will get access to it. It's a pretty cool app. Brian
Yeah, we
posted
have our own
something.
app, huh? How many does
How many coaching groups have their own app,
yeah,
right?
I know WinRate doesn't have their own app. Arate doesn't even have their own app.
True, true.
Contractor
Uh,
Fight, they don't have their own app. Hey,
no.
sorry, I'm shooting bullets here, boom, boom, boom. You can't dodge them because we have our own app. We got the best shit over here at TCS.
We
Let's
do have
go.
our own app, and the thing functions really well too. Highly recommend people checking it
Yeah.
out. By checking it out, I mean joining the group and checking it out. But one thing Brian just said in there, he goes, "How's everyone feeling about 2024 so far from a business perspective?" And just going off of what you said, Nate, a lot of people said crushing it, doing well. I'm the only one that said wish things were better. And a lot of people wrote these things, and I said, things have been great with us. They've been amazing. We've had an amazing year. We're probably going to have one of the biggest years yet again that we've ever had. But I said, when you have such high expectations of where you want to go and who you can be as a builder, you could always be getting better, is what I
Hmm.
said. So, and it's true, man. Like, I always want to improve. Like, everybody's like, I'm having the best year ever, this and that. And that's great, good. But to me, like, my wife always like says stuff about this too. Like, if I sell real estate or big things happen in real estate, I always tell her, she's like, your reactions, you really don't have like, you're not coming in all pumped up being like, I got a $10 million listing, this and that. It's no, my mind operates like, this is good. We're at a good place. I'm very happy, but I know it's not where I want to be. You're the same way. That's why you and I get along so well too, because I know you're the same way. You're not close to where you want to be, and you're
Yeah.
just getting started, man. And it's just like, you know, I think having that mindset is what keeps us going, keeps us pushing and striving to, like, I want to be the top builder in the state of Florida, the top luxury builder. Right? We've talked about that multiple times, trying to take the steps to get there. You want to be the top steel guy in California and spread throughout the country. You and I have talked about that quite a few times too. Like, we are just getting started, and it's no time to, I mean, we can celebrate our wins, yes, but you got to keep going too along that way. So just touching on what you said there.
Damn.
Mic
That was
drop.
good. That was good. I felt that. So, last thing to hit on with client and vendor communication, in this topic of highly productive project management, is getting ahead of and communicating issues. Right, spending time in the plan, spending time making a plan of how the project's going to flow, and communicating any issues. Like, those are crucial. Planning is so crucial in construction. You can't just get up every day and say, let's go at it and let's wing it. No, you got to sit, you got to collaborate, you have to plan, or you'll have a bunch of issues everywhere. So, moving on to the third vertical, um, of highly productive project management, and that's scheduling, really. And that I see a lot of contractors, they don't spend enough time really dialing in their scheduling part, right? And what I love about scheduling, people say, oh, how can you predict revenue, or how can you do this or that? I can do it based on my scheduling, right? I can tell you how much revenue I'm going to do in March with, probably accuracy of less than 10% variance. So 90% accuracy or more of the exact number of revenue I'm going to do in March based on my schedule, right? How do I know I'm going to hit the schedule? Because I've already called the vendors and made sure there's no delays. I've already checked this delay. I've checked this delay. Any potential issues, major ones, that would impact us financially in March, we have figured out, right? So again, scheduling it helps with predicting revenue and also helps predicting what resources need to be purchased or what resources need to be allocated to one certain area in a certain month or week or day of, you know, of that schedule. So I don't know if
Yeah,
you got
schedule.
anything on that one.
Yeah, schedule's huge, man. And kind of reflecting into the actual job schedule for us too. We've really perfected like the exact step by step schedule. So, and we've made it very transparent. We decided to open up everything to the client. So the client sees our whole entire schedule. They can look at breakdowns step by step, including inspection items too that we have to do to build a house. So we've opened that up and we try and schedule. So as the schedule's happening and we're making, calling the subcontractors and getting them scheduled out, we're updating that schedule. The client gets it on top of a job log of the production that's happening too. So it's very transparent. A lot of builders might say, no, I don't want to open up my schedule and have people calling me and be like, well, this item was supposed to be on this day. But to be honest with you, I mean, as long as you set that expectation, say these exact dates aren't always going to be met because stuff happens, subs get tied up on other jobs, and then they're there the next day or a couple days later. It's just how it goes in the construction business. It's never, to the T, to the point. You try and make it as much as possible, but we've been very transparent. It's actually helped us because it's made a lot less calls happening of where's my house right now, what's going on with it, because they can see step by step as we're going the actual breakdown of their schedule, very detailed. My brother and I sat down and literally item by item. So even and this helps the project management too, because the guys out in the field, they know now what to do step by step, to where they're not calling my brother as much. It's like, okay, we can just go ahead and schedule this, or we can schedule this inspection right after this is done. So it's just like
Yep.
so detailed for them, and that speeds up our process too, so they know what's going on and they appreciate it too. It's made their lives a lot easier, and they've been asking us to, they're like, can we get some kind of list or breakdown of how to run these jobs so it's not so scrambled. So like I said, we've been working on a lot of systems and processes this year and last year to try and just make everything more efficient, because with growth you need more efficiency, you need more systems in place. And obviously we've had extreme growth over the last few years, and we're still working at it. Like Nate and I said, you're always working at these things. It's not just something that's going to be one and done. Like, you always want to continue to improve, and especially as technology comes out and new things happen, you're always looking for better ways. That's just how we are.
Totally, man. Totally. Another big thing with scheduling is it helps your team know when they're on and off track. And it's something
Yeah.
that I can tell when us in management are on point and have our schedule dialed in and we're communicating scheduling more to the guys in the field and the shop on production, like even down to the lowest guy. Not I didn't mean it like that, but you know what I'm saying. The guy sweeping the floor, the guy cutting the material, whatever it is. If they all know the mission and they know the schedule, they're going to work a little harder to get there, and they're going to feel that win when they get there. Otherwise, they come day to day, they're coming to work not knowing if they're winning or losing. They're just basing it off how their day went. But overall, right, how's the company doing? We're on track, right? We hit our scheduled dates, right? It makes them feel good. The other thing with a schedule, whatever app you use, make sure it's easily accessible from your phone, and you can have multiple projects built out on a Gantt, and then they can all feed into one master schedule. At least if you're a subcontractor, that's crucial because you can see where you have overlap. We had a schedule we were using for a while, and it was too hard to adjust things on, and you could only look at it on a tablet or a computer. It's like, so when people would call, we'd have to, oh no, let me get to my office or to my tablet, and then I'll call you back. It's like, dude, that's stupid. So we've actually switched to Monday, and Monday is like a task management software too. We don't use it for that. We use Basecamp for all of our, project management stuff, but we use Monday only for the calendar because they have a really AI integrated calendar it's live where you can have multiple people in there and they don't jack each other up, and it's live like within seconds. Like Bill in Florida could update something on our schedule, and in 2 or 3 seconds, boom, it'll come up on my computer. So that linking capability is super important. A lot of scheduling apps have like major lag, or if one person's in it while the other person is making changes to two different projects, it kind of like, the system bugs out. So I would recommend Monday, at least for subcontractors. And yeah, and we list out in our scheduling, we'll list out, you know, it could be this like line item, miscellaneous steel, gates and fencing, fabrication, and then how many days, or sorry, how many guys and how many days. Installation, how many guys, how many days. So then when we're plugging it in, we can look at that and see, oh, you have 4 things going on. Each one has 5 guys. It's like, oh, we don't have 20 guys to allocate, and then you can move that around. So we're looking at um, days, duration, and also how many guys are needed on that project. And we'll just plug that in and then move things around. And that's really helped us too from a client's perspective, because we can send them a full schedule. We have a 3-story commercial building we're building right on Beverly Drive, downtown Beverly Hills. And we've given them schedule updates every 2 weeks. Right? Hey, here's where we're at. We're on track. And they're using our schedule to update theirs. And that makes them look better because it's more accurate, right? Instead of them guessing and sending us a schedule. With scheduling is just so important. And if you're doing it with a GC, if you're collaborating with the GC, you're taking initiative, they're going to love it. And I'm sure Bill can speak on that, versus the subs who you call and you're like, okay, how many days do you have on this? And you got to like baby them through a schedule. And it's like, dude, I want to pound my head against this wall right now. Oh, well, I would say we'll be done between the 20th and the 30th. What? You're giving me a 10-day window of when you think you're going to be done. You can't give me like a 2-day window. Like that doesn't work in a schedule, you know? So, Bill, you could talk on that and how some subs make it easy, and how, well, let's say how subs can make it easy, right? If there's subs listening, because you're a builder.
Yeah, I mean it's what you said, man. I don't have a lot of them doing what you're doing and actually implementing a schedule to the actual GC, giving us a schedule of, here's what we're going to go in at, here's the times, here's how long it's going to take us. And I know I can link my schedule to them too, and I was thinking about starting to do that. A lot of them, it's tough just getting them to use the software in general for bids when they send me bids, but the ones that are good at it, I might just link them into the schedule and see how it goes. Like you were talking about as well. But as a GC, if the more information you as a subcontractor can give to us about timelines, when you're coming, how long you're going to be there, how long it's going to take, is huge. It's crucial because then we can move to the next steps. We can plan ahead and keep moving our job accordingly too, because everything on a build is a step. It's a stepping stone to the next thing. So if we can get these schedules dialed in, we can build houses a lot faster. But a lot of the subs, the problem is it's hard to dial in because they'll tell you one day, then they'll get backlogged, and then they'll end up, it starts with concrete. I mean, our concrete guys do work for other GCs, and they're stuck on a job trying to finish it. They have 3 crews. They got to move one crew to here, another crew to there, and things get a little delayed for a couple of days. But, off what Nate said, it's definitely huge if you can communicate. The better the communication to the actual general contractor, the better, and better the builder will eat that up too, because I think subcontractors struggle with that quite a bit as far as the communication. I'm still chasing guys constantly. It's just how it
It's a
is.
pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is.
I talked to a guy the other day. I'm like, because we sub out, like I said, some steel work. Because like my motto is, why would I want to, you know, I was thinking this week, I'm like, oh, I need to buy another welding rig, outfit that, and start, building a second field crew. And I'm like, why the hell would you do that when you could just sub it out? And then you can save that $200,000 capital investment. Keep that in your pocket. Just sub out the work until you really, really need, right? Till you're overwhelming with work. Same thing. I was gonna buy a semi truck because we use a semi like once a week, twice a week, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to schedule them sometimes. And I'm thinking, bro, don't be a dumbass. You're gonna spend
Yeah.
150 grand, 200 grand capital investment. You're gonna use it twice a week. Like, wait till you're using that guy 5 days a week,
Then it's
and
worth
then
it.
hire an employee and a truck, and buy a truck. Like so many people when they're starting their business, oh, I have to rent a tractor 2 days a week. I got to go buy a tractor, dude. Fuck that. Sorry, you can bleep that out, but f that, dude. Save your money. you know, Save your money because if you're charging right, you should be charging the same that the rental yard charges or close to for the equipment that you own. So either way, the customer's paying the same amount. Save that risk. If it breaks, come pick it up. It's broken. Give me a new one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that kind of was a little rant, but that goes with project management too, knowing when to allocate those resources. So the last bit on this group, it was job information organization, client and vendor communication, scheduling, and the fourth thing to kind of bring it all together for productive project management is managing resources. And that cannot happen without, right, having your job info organized, communicating to client and vendors, and scheduling. So this one kind of brings all of that home, and having a good grip on those areas helps you know when and where to manage resources, right? Without having a good schedule of, hey, for the next 30 days, here's what we're doing, you don't know which guys are going to be the best guys to put on that job. Instead, you're going to think, oh crap, tomorrow I got to send 3 guys there. I'll just send these 3 guys when they're not the most efficient at that type of work, right? Or maybe if you had another 2 weeks to schedule it out or prepared better, you could sub that work out to someone else who does the work for 30 or 40% less than what it costs your guys to do it. Now you can make more money. There you go, right? So I don't know what you have, Bill, on managing resources, right? Like how are you dealing with that, with making sure all these houses you have going on that you have enough project managers on it or enough people pushing the paperwork and organizing things, because that's
Yeah,
crucial.
we actually split up all the houses recently because it was just getting too, hey, can you go here for this delivery? Hey, can you be over here? And it's just like everybody was kind of scattered, so we broke the houses down into 4 houses per person. So, I have two superintendents. They got 4 houses each. My brother got 4 houses. I took 2 of them. I'm the man of all hats, so I do literally a lot within the company of helping. I'm the leadership role of the company, just making sure the ship doesn't sink. So I do a lot of different things, and I'm helping my brother on 2 of the jobs that we have. Long story short, but by doing that, it's keeping production good. It's making sure things are there on time when we need it. Uh, and on that and managing, making sure that your resources are all there too. It's making sure tiles delivered for when the tile guys need to be there, or the wood floors are there on time, or the windows and doors are there for the installer when you have them scheduled. So we're always getting ahead of these things on our deliveries, and we're timing out the installs right after the delivery happens too, just to keep production going. You might have some delays. We've dealt with that a lot, the last couple of years because of COVID and everything. Things kind of drug out, but now things have gotten better. So it's literally like assembly line is how you want these things to be built. So each and every step along the way, there's something there and there's somebody there to do it too. Within the office, we just brought back my wife a couple days a week. My parents are going to watch the baby a couple days a week because we just needed my wife back in the office to kind of help out because we have 15 jobs going, and that's a lot for one selections coordinator to deal with. So she's taking on a few of the jobs too, and they're kind of splitting them. So, which is good, but that keeps the organization within the office with the designers and the decorators all intact too. And then also, as far as the financial end, my sister has that pretty organized too. But I help with all these things, making sure things get done is kind of my role too. Constantly asking, hey, do we get this bid? Okay, I'll call him. You know, I'm the phone guy where I'm just calling these clients and be like, hey, we need to get this signed off on. What can we do to get it done? Need me to get a little money off of it? Okay, let me see what I can do. Call the subcontractor. Hey, you know, can you give me a little bit of money off of this? I want to get this thing done and signed and we can move forward. So it's all a process, man. It's just constantly moving things, constantly each and every job having track of that. But we have a lot of meetings too to kind of go through each job. It's almost repetitive. So we know where each one is and what the next task to do is too. So it goes back to the first thing, which is communication. That's the biggest thing. Like you said, all of these tie together to make that one thing, which is perfect management. You know, nothing's perfect, but pretty damn good management overall. So,
Yeah, for sure, man.
but I don't know. You got anything else on this one, or is that a wrap?
It's a wrap. Just it's all about getting the reporting and information you need, really. Because without proper scheduling, without proper job info organization, all these things feed each other, right? That feeds back to the financial side of the company, right? Oh, when do we need to make investments? We need to purchase more resources, whether that's equipment, people, whatever it is, right? Scheduling, forecasting out a schedule 90 days or looking at a backlog spreadsheet, that'll dictate you when you need to hire more guys in the field, guys in the office, estimators, whatever. Otherwise, your business is going to be a roller coaster if you don't figure out how to be highly productive with project management and quite honestly, everything else, right? It's all got to feed each other and be like a fine tuned machine. So
Love it.
that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Everybody
Like,
know the
share,
routine.
comment,
Like,
subscribe. I just stole the words out of Billy's
you took it
mouth.
right out of my mouth. And next week we'll be having a big time interview, like Nate said. So stay tuned for that. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Peace.